attending-wise. And, you know, so many people have just been through my doors. My parents know a ton of Smashers by name. It's not even like anything special at this point to them.
Yeah.
They accept it, and for us, you know, we're all friends outside of the game, which is
exactly.
really something beautiful.
The game brings us together, and it creates us into a family. You guys are my family, and that's, you know, to me, that's what makes Smash such an important part of my life. But enough of that sappiness. I think we're on to the next match. It looks like RJ versus Nairo. Yeah. They're the only two players that have a perfect record so far. So Duck Hunt Dog definitely putting in that one.
Dunk Hut.
Duck Hunt. No, I'm just calling him Duck Hunt. We're cutting dog. All right, because that's just too many words. I'm hard at words. And
you're hard of words.
Yeah.
It's like being hard of hearing for talking.
Exactly.
Anyway, back to the match at hand. It looks like we're gonna have Duck Hunt versus a wide variety of characters. I'd say that Nairo has at his disposal. We saw Reflay, Robin, and Zelda. So looks like he's a fan of female characters dressed in pink that have fire spells and magical capabilities. Yeah, Nairo says yes. Yeah, he likes lightning from Final Fantasy also.
Yeah.
So
definitely, if you want to counter Nairo, you got to figure out how to counter that archetype.
Yeah, it's all about the archetype of character here for Nairo. Doesn't seem like he's going to default to Meta Knight like he did. Well, not default to Meta Knight, but settle on Meta Knight eventually for being a top tier character.
Well, I do think Nairo, being the competitive force that he is, will end up playing the character that is established as the best if one emerges.
I'd say in this game, he might be going at first for something like the character that suits him most to win at top levels of play. So not necessarily the best character, but the one that suits him best.
Absolutely.
But then again, as far as the balance of this cast goes, it still remains to be seen. I'd say it seems good so far.
It seems good so far.
It seems very good.
I'm absolutely impressed. Right now, I definitely have only good things to say about the balance of the game. And the other thing is, Nairo's always been a Zelda fan, as I've mentioned multiple times, as many of you already know. He was a Zelda main in the beginning of Brawl, and
won a tournament with her one day.
Yeah, and I think that as it is possible, you're going to see a lot of players pick characters that they actually have some feelings for early, and then maybe stick to those characters as long as nobody comes out to be extremely broken in the sense that Meta Knight was, or that Ice Climbers were to a degree. And we see that Nairo is not struggling to get in on Duck Hunt Dog.
Yeah,
nearly as much as Rob
teleport and a projectile to answer it,
and a reflector.
Man, that explosive can from the Duck Hunt Dog, or just Duck Hunt in general, so powerful of a tool. You press B to make it repeatedly bounce, and it'll detonate either after it's sustained damage or after you've kicked it enough, or press B to move it enough times, I believe. Man, such a great zoning tool. Very wide explosion hitbox, and oh, look at that. He can move it. It always moves forward from where he initially started, so he can just move it, you know, accordingly as he moves across the stage. Oh, look at that. That's such a great strategy.
Gosh, these traps are insane.
He plants it on one side of the stage,
and
runs
then crosses
to
the other side, and then he has a projectile that approaches him while he's sending projectiles that are, you know, moving from him, creating traps from both sides, horizontal and vertical.
This is brilliant.
Yeah, really.
Shout out to RJ for
really strong
developing this character.
Oh, that teleport takes him out early. What was that, 87? Oh.
It's such a strong move, and also being that it's a teleport, Zelda is able to just completely disregard all of the elaborate traps RJ is trying to set, and it looks like Nairo doesn't have any hesitation about throwing at that teleport before kill percents.
Absolutely. Where she is weak to Little Mac for his rushdown game, she is definitely not suffering against Duck Hunt's camping game. Again, Duck Hunt showing such a strong arsenal of smash attacks in addition to all his projectile weaponry.
Every single one of this character's moves is good. He reminds me a lot of Snake, except with an actual air game and, and like out of dash game.
Yeah.
And he's, well, I mean, not that border sliding wasn't great, but still, Duck Hunt, approach tools, zoning tools, just straight up keep away tools. Very good character. Also, his grabs are great. That puppy mouth, he just bites you and then throws you away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely see myself playing this character at first.
He's so goofy, but it's like so lovable.
Yeah, absolutely. The character just looks so fun. I mean,
Banjo-Kazooie with Snake's projectiles. Yeah.
You've got that dog, you've got that duck, and you got the swag guy.
Oh, and Nairo does not give a duck right now.
Yeah.
He just takes him out with the soft down air. It seems to be a very reliable KO tool
for
Duck Hunt, or for Zelda.
The thing about Zelda is she's always had that down air because, first of all, let's talk about Zelda's down air for a little bit. It's one of the strongest meteor smashes in the game, being that when you sweet spot it, it just has insane knockback. Now, on top of that, on top of being one of the strongest meteor smashes on the game, it also has one of the longest duration hitboxes of any meteor smash because you throw it out there, and even if you don't hit that sweet spot on the first frame that it's active, you also have it staying out there for quite some time. So you can throw it out as just a weak hit to many people, but when you're sending your opponent directly down and they're already off the stage, that's very likely to lead into a KO or a follow-up KO. Now, the reason that Zelda wasn't able to capitalize on this very much in Brawl is because Zelda jumping off the stage in Brawl was suicide.
Yes,
and in
she
Melee
was
as
awful.
well. Yes.
Not only because you could edge hog her, but because she did not automatically sweet spot the edge in Brawl, one of the few characters without that advantage, and as you see now, it works.
Yeah.
And a brutal game one finish from Nairo.
Now she's able to sweet spot the edge with her up B. You can't just edge hog her for free, and she just has so much like resources when she's off the stage. It really gives you the ability to say, okay, do I think you're gonna try and jump above me? Then I'm gonna get you with that up air read. And if I think you're gonna try and go below me, be prepared to get hit by this down air. And it gives her such a powerful trap. So Zelda, very, very strong with her new off-stage game. Not something I was expecting from the game.
By the way, guys, for those of you who don't know what we're saying when we say sweet spot the ledge, we mean automatically snapping to it on the way up during a recovery move.
Or actually, it can be on the way down. You just generally don't see people aiming
too.
for the edge when they're above the stage.
Right, in Brawl and Smash 4. And Melee, you see a lot of that from the Space Animals.
Right.
And Sheik also.
Yeah.
But here we are in Game 2, RJ switching to Lucario, a character that was his near and dear main character in Brawl.
And he's going to pick a matchup he's a little bit more familiar with because he's just not about that trying to camp the teleporter life.
Yeah, for sure. And Lucario also vastly improved from Brawl, it seems. He has much quicker hits and much more solid hits, too. Some of his stuff wasn't even safe on hit in Brawl, but now he hits like he means it. Like, he is actually a fighting and steel type. I mean, who wants to get hit by that just based on the description?
Yeah, he does seem to have retained his aura property where he grows stronger as he takes percents. It does not appear to have been removed from the game. I'm not 100% sure about that, but from what I've seen, it looks like he gets stronger when he gets hit.
The aura is actually even more prevalent in this game. Not only does it make him stronger, but also it makes his up B extreme speed go much further depending on the aura.
Oh, very nice.
He can even go excessively far at the high percents, which Lucario players have to watch for.
You know, I can't state it enough. That's a huge buff with the change ledge mechanics. As you can see, as we were talking about before, Nairo able to just make the reads. Once he makes you afraid of that down air because of the lingering hitbox, he can punish you very highly with his up air. So it's really a great mix-up. I think the best answer to Zelda is just approaching her head-on. Because if she doesn't hit that fair, which she's unlikely to go for, or bear, she's facing backwards, then, you know, she doesn't really have too much range or priority directly in front of her. I think just directly challenging Zelda on a lateral perspective is a strength, but when she's the one coming from the stage and has the option of choosing when she jumps, it allows her to pick those options, and thus far gives her really strong edge guard mix-ups. We do see an even game here. Lucario struggling a little bit, blasted up to 83%, so even though the up air doesn't KO as early as it used to, it still packs the same damage punch, and we've got the up B to serve as the new KO move.
And also follow up the up air with, as we saw Nairo take the first stock in that fashion. Yeah. Also, speaking of taking stocks, RJ kind of had to take a bit of a beating to make his kill moves really activate. We saw him hit with quite a few aerials at the lower percents, and even he had a self-reflected aura sphere that barely knocked him anywhere. But once he was in the 50s, Lucario started to be real serious about those hits, and it's unfortunate for Lucario that he kind of has to self-sacrifice a little bit to become a powerful force. Yeah,
absolutely. But I mean, the nature of the game is back and forth hits. So I'll definitely take that as an advantage any day in Smash. You know, you have the characters are going to be trading back and forth a lot in early stages, and if my character is then going to get stronger as those trades go on, you know, I'll definitely take that as an advantage, as a trade-off rather.
It's just super sad when your opponent takes the first stock, and even though you get a little bit of a bonus for being down a stock, it's mostly the percent that makes the difference. And great grab after the Nehru's Love, which seems to have a slightly reduced hitbox.
Yeah. And putting now that Zelda's up B is a legitimate threat of a move, you know, combining that with her ability to reflect moves is such an advantage. You know, this character seems definitely very well-rounded. I would say this is the best iteration of Zelda from any Smash game by far.
Yes. Oh, unquestionably. She's downright terrible in both Melee and Brawl.
Yeah.
Which is sad to say for any Zelda fans. Wow, back throw to dash attack looks like a somewhat true combo there from RJ. Good stuff. Showing some guaranteed things with his character. Has a lot of muscle memory from Lucario in Brawl, of course.
Is this really not punishable? I have not seen a single up B get punished.
I'm sure it's punishable, but nobody's used to that move being used in the positions that it's being used now. And it's a lot easier to react to something when you know it's coming, you know? But is it invincible? Well, it's invincible when she travels, but... Oh, okay, apparently the up is also invincible on
We're
landing.
being told it's invincible on landing. Down tilt to up air. That'll end it. Nairo takes it.
All right, I'm going to play my round 4 match because I want to at least play one round of this tournament.
All right.
Yeah. All right, I'll be back, though.
All right, catch you soon.
Yes.
Take it easy.